Good evening, I'm Hannah, and today we break down why Canada is fighting a losing battle when it comes to a tariff war with the United States. While trade tensions between the two neighbors have flared up in the past, history and economics show that when push comes to shove, Canada simply doesn't have the leverage to win. Let's dive in. First, let's talk numbers. The United States has the world's largest economy with a GDP of nearly $27 trillion. Canada, just over $2 trillion. That's not even 10% of the U.S. economy. When countries engage in a tariff war, the side with the stronger economy almost always comes out ahead. The U.S. can afford to take the hit longer, Canada not so much. Then there's trade dependence. About 75% of Canada's exports go to the United States, while only around 13% of U.S. exports go to Canada. That means if both countries slap tariffs on each other's goods, the damage to Canada's economy will be much greater. The U.S. can shift its imports elsewhere, but Canada would struggle to find a new market of 330 million consumers overnight. And let's not forget history. Remember the steel and aluminum tariffs under the Trump administration? Canada retaliated with its own tariffs, but in the end, it was forced to negotiate under pressure. The reality is, Canada's economy is so tied to the U.S. that playing hardball can backfire. It's like a game of chicken where one car is a pickup truck and the other is a bicycle. Another weak spot? Natural resources. Canada supplies a lot of oil, lumber, and minerals to the U.S. But guess what? The U.S. is increasing its own production, especially in energy. That means if Canada raises tariffs or limits exports, the U.S. has alternatives. On the other hand, if the U.S. restricts key goods like agricultural products or machinery, Canada has fewer options. Finally, there's the political and corporate pressure factor. Major Canadian businesses rely on American partnerships, and even Canadian politicians understand the risks of pushing too hard. Losing U.S. business could lead to job losses and economic instability in Canada, which no leader wants on their hands. That's why, even when Canada tries to play tough, it usually ends up back at the negotiating table. So, what's the bottom line? A tariff war between Canada and the U.S. is a David versus Goliath battle. Except this time, David's slingshot doesn't quite measure up. Instead of going head-to-head, Canada's best strategy is negotiation, not escalation. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights on global news. I'm Hannah, and this is Headline America.